The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, where we will shatter your reality to bring you closer to the truth.
All right, guys, welcome back to another live show with your host, Blake, the founder of the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. How was everyone doing in the chat? I see we got Sandra Piper, of course, in the chat. She's always floating around, and I see we got Rob and stuff, and chatting away. So glad to see everyone having a good time and stuff. I was tuning into some other shows tonight as I was doing dad's stuff, getting the kids ready for bed. So yeah. Anyways, tonight's gonna be pretty chill. We'll put the link to come on in the live chat here pretty soon, and come on, discuss whatever you want with cryptids, Bigfoot, paranormal, or whatever. Just be respectful, no swearing, and if we have multiple guests, please be open-minded to their opinions. Doesn't need to turn into a fight or anything, but debate, discussion can be good. So yeah. Other than that, doing the show tonight instead of tomorrow night because I'm gonna have a busy day, and then going out tomorrow. So hopefully we get some good stuff on the night vision. We're over there and on the GoPro and stuff, and hopefully get some audio and stuff. So looking forward to that. Taking the girlfriend out with me too. So the way it's been going, hopefully it will get more activity, bringing a female out to areas where it's just usually myself going by myself. So should hopefully increase the chances of activity if they are there to observe us and stuff. Because sometimes you go to a spot where there's Sasquatch and they're just simply not there at that moment. They're not always going to be right there waiting for you to interact with you. They have lives, they have priorities to deal with and family matters, I'm sure. So they're always on the move and doing other things and stuff. But when we do get lucky and get the chance and have interaction, where it's definitely being at the right time and the right moment and stuff too. But we have a variety of different evidence and stuff that we have captured and got lucky enough to be able to show you guys. And we have several different live streams. There's stuff on the channel, and there's stuff that was only shown on live streams, and there's a lot of stuff in the backlog waiting to show you guys, and some more interesting stuff. Nothing like Patterson level of epicness and stuff, but this more of the same stuff we're getting. Wood knocks type stuff, eye shine tracks, tree manipulation, debris being put on a trail, us clearing off, being put on a trail, the same stretch of trail again, with a different a tree branch, tree manipulation, and swamp. We've documented lots of a few different instances of that. Can't talk. Of where they're yanking like saplings and stuff out of swampy, saturated, wet areas and laying them across the trail. When you find it, there's no hole where the sapling was, yanked out of, and there's no evidence that it was even around in that area. When you look at the root ball, it's saturated or it's dead and rotted, but you can tell it was in a swampy area. There's moss that grew up where it used to flood and stuff yearly, and indications of that and stuff. So we've shown that on different videos, short videos and longer expedition videos, and different live streams where we actually go through evidence and stuff. So I'll play you guys actually a few clips and stuff we have on here. Some really good tree knocks, a couple of different tree knocks. So here's one with me and James, the Caller Kid.
Well, there's a big pile of mess. They could have flipped around and stuff. Yeah. Well, there's a big pile of mess. They could have flipped around and stuff. Yeah. Well, there's a big pile of mess. They could have flipped around and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually captured on the GoPro, which GoPro 7 actually has a pretty good audio range, surprisingly for that little thing. But in that instance, a single knock, you can watch more of that and other evidence that we got during that expedition out in that area with me and the Caller Kid James. And the video series is multiple Bigfoot, and there's different subsections like swamp walking, and then the main one with a lot of the stuff. Each video has evidence and different stuff that we capture, but it's multiple Bigfoot, and then escalation is where we get a lot of different calls and whoops, and James is pretty freaked out with everything that's happening. This was a few years ago, and this was when me and him just met up and seriously started going out. And finally, after 3 times of going out to this exact same area, we just all of a sudden gotten massive amounts of activity and calls, and one orangutan call we never even good orangutan call we didn't capture and stuff. Well, here in Michigan, we're able to do that a lot easier than in Florida. So that's one advantage we have up here, is we don't have to worry about the poisonous snakes or alligators, really. There are, rattlesnakes, and there's some water snakes that can mess you up. Um, any person can get affected by any kind of reptile bite, and generally, if you're swamp trekking, you don't want to have cuts and stuff, and you want to be a healthy individual and not be afraid of getting sick because you're walking through stagnant water of dead and dying organic matter, plant life mostly, but there is animal life and stuff, and dead, dying, and a lot of bacteria, a lot of different stuff. So it's not for the faint of heart, and you do it is actually kind of dangerous and stuff to be swamp, going out there. You could fall into some deep muck in a hole, get sucked in instantly. There's different types of swamps and terrain and stuff. So it's not all like mucky mud that can like sinks down and swallow you whole. It could be solid, saturated. You could be on a marsh, flooded grass islands that are just like mats floating on water and stuff, that you could fall down through one of those into a maze of grasses, or actually underneath the floating mat, and now you can't get back up because you can't find that hole. A bunch of different things, and there's a bunch of different environments that includes swamp. So when you say swamp, it's not just one type of environment, it's a lot of different stuff. So yeah, I've done it. Usually I like to wear muck boots, or I have a waders, but if I have an old cheap pair of shoes and some old pants and stuff that I usually take, once I'm wet, my shoes are wet. I mean, it really doesn't matter if my pants get wet. Once I get up to, let's say up to waist level and stuff, then it's like, I really don't want to get up to my waist wet, but then it's like, okay. And then it becomes basically up to my chest level. I don't swim or anything, and if I have to hold my backpack above my head, I will. But yeah, I've crossed creek systems and stuff that were this big and stuff with just pants and shoes and everything, and I'm all wet, and I just keep hiking and stuff. You can watch some videos and stuff where I've actually done this stuff, and done it in winter, and you can see some of that stuff. You get into some pretty unique places, and you actually find just especially if you cross into a spot and there's dry islands in the middle of a swamp, you find prime just areas and have habitation of where every animal, even deer, who get out there, bed down, they feel safe. Most people average are not going to go out there crossing, like swamp water and stuff that's that thick. Hunters and stuff who are hardcore and really after, epic, prime antler bucks or just meat and stuff, they will definitely do that straight up. But most people hiking stuff have no reason to go across a body of water unless they are training for something, or they want to improve their primitive skills or survivability and stuff like that. There are cases like that, but most of the time, nah. So I'm able to get into some of these areas where, most people are just, even Sasquatch researchers are not even going to try, I mean, it's like, who cares? You get a little wet. Okay, well, if you have a spare, clothes in your backpack and it's waterproof, well, just go change and blah, 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 blah. It's not that really hard. There's times where I've stripped down to, basically my underwear, and had to cross because I didn't want my clothes to get wet, and then I, take my underwear off and put my clothes back on and put it in a bag and stuff. And that's the only thing that's wet. So take my shoes off too. It just depends on the situation, what I'm doing, what I'm feeling. So, but it is dangerous. I carry rope now. I usually have a pretty long stick, at least 6 foot or greater. At least minimum my height, 6 foot. You should have at least 7, 8 foot tall pole. That way you can feel how deep certain parts of the swamp and water is, and you might know, especially at the when you hit the bottom, it could be a false bottom where it's muck and mush that actually goes down another foot or two before you actually hit solid bottom. So you always got to be careful. So and knowing your limits and where to go, and it's kind of about experience and stuff too. I'll be right back. I got to chat with my girl real quick. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. My girlfriend just got home and stuff. You know, wanted to greet her and stuff. And more important stuff than the show, guys. So of course, you guys probably know how that is. All right. Put the link to come on in the chat, so anyone can come on. It's free for all. So you know, hit it up. Just be respectful. Try to keep the swearing to the bare minimum. It happens, and we just kind of try to keep it a little bit more professional out here. On the field and at home, I should follow my advice a little bit more. But on the show, I just don't feel the need that we should use those type of words to describe certain things in this stuff. They're kind of cheap words in opinions on discussions and debates and stuff. And also, sometimes they're just not necessary when we're talking about certain things. But in the heat of a moment, when emotions evolve, sometimes, yeah, describing a story is using those words is all right. But all I appreciate the comment, Rob. I wouldn't say that I'm brave. It's just, just going out there and enjoying myself, going out to places and investigating. It's not really, brave and stuff. It's just, I want to make sure, I want to know what's out there. I want to find the truth. And if they were super, super dangerous all the time and all of them were like that, I probably wouldn't be here, guaranteed, with all this different stuff I've encountered and being out there by myself. I've had nothing but pretty good interaction. I've got one scary one time I got yelled at, but other than that, none of the interactions ever were aggressive enough to like make me want to like leave because they were aggressive enough. And I've had stuff where it's like, okay, I've had my enough for today, but it wasn't like aggressive for them to push me out of the area. So, but they are dangerous, no doubt about it. I mean, a squirrel, you can go look up right now, squirrel videos of them attacking people and people getting all messed up and getting chunks bit out of them. And that is, you look at, go mess with your cat and see how long it takes for him to mess you up, especially if they have claws still. So these creatures are like any other animal on this planet, including humans. Some animals, have bad days. Some animals are known to just hate people, go after people. Some animals are so friendly to that every human they meet that they just want to get up and interact. These creatures have evolved to watch us. That is their main key to survival. Is basically, this is my theory, and I've heard different things from other people that I believe goes along with this, so that I would include that. And during the Ice Age and megafauna, when we were hunting mastodons and hunting gatherers, and we were full force tribes, going across hunting big game, 20-ton animals. 20-ton animals and stuff. We were wiping everything out. We were becoming the alpha omega predator out there. We were just decimating everything. We were learning having fire tools. We were making clothing, accessories, blah 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 blah. The dawn of civilization and of cities and stuff. But basically, as we were conquering, just they say officially that we caused the extinction of many different animals. Well, if that theory is proven and is true, the Sasquatches, in that time period, and I feel like evolved, and they were seeing what was happening to us, obviously ran away and hid in places where humans just do not live. The remote areas of mountains and swamps and in the woods and jungles and in different places around the world. But in North America, what I'm mainly talking about is they evolved to watch humans. What are humans doing? Because if we can watch humans and understand humans, maybe we can figure out how to avoid them by looking at what they're doing and stuff. So I believe that's how they evolved, to hide from us mainly and to observe how and what we're doing. So all the way up to the modern times. So now these modern Sasquatches who've evolved this way and dealt with Native Americans and their ancestors who were hunter-gatherers and supreme hunters, supreme, alpha predators out there. Even the best hunters today are nothing. They're like the crappiest ones back in the day, I would assume, because of the physicality of everyday 24/7 hunting and life skills. That's all you did. So evolving to hide from those kind of humans, having warfare for those kind of humans, and then all the way now to where 99% of Americans, I think it's less than that. It's whatever, believe in Bigfoot or proof positive. Uh, no one's out there hunting and gathering 24/7. No one's out there looking for them. No one's out there guarding their tribes, their families, on alert, night watch, 24/7. These creatures basically have evolved and got into a nice sweet spot of where humans have, as white man came over here, we have forgotten these Sasquatches exist. Now we can't even we try to prove it. Can't even do that in the last hundreds of years. But so basically they've evolved to watch us and stuff. So when we're in the woods, they can watch us. And like any animals, like dogs and cats, especially domesticated animals, have evolved to watch human expressions. Know a dog can tell when you're happy and sad and by your facial expressions along with your other stuff. But if we're just speaking on facial expressions and tonnage and different emotions that you can go through, Sasquatches have probably evolved to pick up on that too, just so that they can interact and feel what a person's doing, And it's this kind of same thing with them, as a human and primates, we have faces and stuff, and we have emotions, and we get angry and stuff, and it changes. And with chimps and other, my girlfriend's sneaking around in here, and so they can maybe be able to evolve to learn to watch that, to understand that this person is happy, this person's sad, this person's angry, blah blah blah. They might, if they're intelligent enough to read that, understand that. So when a person like modern people come out in the woods and we're doing our camp and stuff and totally oblivious, the signs that they're able to pick up, like this person has no idea that we're here. They're totally oblivious to us. We throw stuff, make Sasquatch stuff. These people are too much in bliss that they just don't understand or see it. They don't pick it up. They have no idea what's going on. Then you have other Sasquatch researchers, which these Sasquatches interact, and then these researchers or these people actually are more attuned and understand. Maybe Sasquatches will pick up on that. Wow, these people are, they know something's up. At least they're on guard. It's a lot different. But in my case, I just let them know. I don't go out there just camp. I go out there, try to interact with them straight up. I like to let them know I'm in the area. I let them try to look at me, feel me out all the time. I try not to push them too much, but I think that they've evolved to learn our mannerisms, how we interact, how we, do things. I mean, that's all they do is watch stuff. They sit down and they watch the whole environment and they think. I mean, if an animal has evolved to sit down and watch things and think, that is a step above all other animals, because no other animals sit down and think, and most of them are driven by eat, reproduce, poop and sleep. And keep doing that. They don't have time to stop, sit, look around, think, try to understand, figure out things, build things. That's why humans were able to evolve, is because we stopped being hunting gatherers and we had enough food supplied, had everything great, that we had enough time to sit down and do other things, not just hunt and gather all the time. So if they don't have to hunt and gather all the time, if they're able to live a lifestyle where they can sustain themselves and have a couple days to sit around and do whatever they want, and it's not an animal lounging around just surviving like a big cat. Big cats eat and stuff, and then they lounge around and stuff. No other animals sit down and think. If Sasquatches think and can understand and strategize, and who knows what level of intelligence that they can grow to and have grown to. But that's my theory on that. I think that just observe things and try to understand things. They learn the patterns of deer. And I mean, it just survivability, how to hide from people, how to hunt people. I mean, that one is not too hard, or take out people. It's not too hard for them, because they've understand that as humans, even though we've got guns and this new technology, in terms of our instincts of being in the woods and be able to sense them and track them and actually go after them, it's nothing compared to what they used to have to deal with. Our ancestors could track them, find them, keep up with them and chase them, take them down, with bows and arrows and stuff, spears. Okay, now you hear stories about people getting shots off, but there's Native American tales of them driving, a whole clan of Bigfoot into caves, lighting it on fire and shooting arrows at these things as they come out and wiping them all out, wiping 20 or more out. So yeah, I don't hear anyone besides maybe tall tales of government doing that, which, maybe they do. And some of these stories are fake, but in terms of the people that they have to deal with, we are nothing compared to our ancestors. So they can hide from us. They can walk circles around us, and they do. They walk circles around us, doing all sorts of dinky things and playing with us. And so maybe if they're watching us and they can understand us, maybe you have this curiosity and you have this more non-aggressive side, because they kind of understand people, because if they are a people, they understand, oh, that's a family. Oh, that's like my family. Oh, that's their kids. It's like my kids. I mean, I was watching a video, and this very popular of us, gorilla and its son. And his son, smacks dirt up in his face, and his dad turns around and gets all grumpy. And I was like, that's my son. My son, the 3-year-old. He is a little terror, and he's amazing. And it was the same thing. You could see it. And if they are people and they are intelligent and they are kind of like that and can understand that, then maybe that's why they're like this, and they want to interact. Because if something wants to stay hidden from humans, they don't keep going towards humans and keep interacting with humans and keep doing all the things that Sasquatches do. They just would avoid humans at all costs, right? But that's not what they do. So, but you have aggressive ones too, who probably, I mean, let's face it, if you are people in your homes and your habitat and your ecosystem and everything is being destroyed, and we are building our ecosystems, this modern world, and houses, and polluting the environment and polluting everything. I mean, your ancestral lands are being taken away. I could see why some would definitely hate humans. There's animals who, in different parts of the world, all sorts of different animals who humans, a recent one is this elephant attacked this lady, killed her, and then had a funeral and attacked her again, because the woman did something with poachers and took the elephant's kid away. And that elephant went and sought revenge of that lady. Not only did she kill her, I think she traveled, it was a lot of miles to her funeral, and grabbed her out of the thing, shook her dead body around, blah, blah, blah. Then went to her house, destroyed her house, and stomped on her goat. Now, elephants are pretty intelligent and are very emotional and stuff. Sasquatches could be at that level or more. Sasquatches are from the data of Val Zavala, who, in my opinion, has the best data around and has, can prove it and show it, and has the background of ex-law enforcement and federal backgrounds to be able to profile in ways that no one else is. And they are evidence of Sasquatches being very aggressive, vindictive with revenge. They don't tolerate certain stuff, and there are reports of them actually killing people. And whether people want to say, oh, you can't prove it or not, there are old newspaper reportings where this stuff comes from that you can find and look up, where 2 farmers dead, one head's ripped off, head's twisted off, guns bent in half, broken. Horses are backs broken, head twisted off, things like that. Okay, you're gonna tell me that what did that? There's some instances where there's, I believe, footprints found with some of the sort of things. Like I've said before, that in the 1950s, seems like after World War II, in the 1950s, we did a huge, massive infrastructure with Eisenhower as president. Massive highway systems that got built and stuff. Our landscape changed in a massively updated scale, and massive farms and farmers and a lot of different stuff. And then you can find a lot of different clashes with Sasquatch and people during the 50s and 60s, and even before. The early 1900s is actually primed with a lot of different Sasquatch and wild man, different sightings and attacks and reports. So they are aggressive. I think it's happenstance. I think it's circumstance. I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on Sasquatch. I think it depends on the mood of the Sasquatch. I mean, I'm a pretty nice, easygoing guy. If I meet you on the street and you're giving me crap, on most days I would give you a lot of chances before I might get grumpy at you, or I might just leave and stuff. But on some days that I wake up not so nice, maybe that level of patience is down and could be down considerably. Same things with them. If you wake one up, you do something that particular one doesn't like. In my instance, when I got yelled at, I was hunting coyotes and I took a shot at a possum, which I missed because it was way too close. But I was like, oh, end of my hunt, because I scared off everything and ain't no coyote going to be coming closer to that gunshot. Sasquatch yelled at me, and it sounded like a mumbling caveman talk, what I thought was the neighbor. It sounded like it was a man yelling at me. That's what it was. It was a angry man yelling at me. I instantly thought, why is the neighbor yelling at me? Why is the neighbor even out yelling at me when we're in the country, we're hunting coyotes, The neighbor had already, talking about the coyotes and the dog, almost went after them, blah, 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 blah. They were a problem, right? So anyways, this man, by the third yell, I understood that it's not a man, because he's not yelling in English. He's not yelling in any foreign language that I can definitely recognize. He's mumbling, caveman talking. And he comes down, of course, this female, it's like a wife and husband bickering, blah, 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 blah. She's making flute, sing-song language talk, what I call it, because it would sound like caveman talk in a very feminine woman tone, but it would make fluty chirps, sing-song type of tonage type of things. It was a language they were communicating, but when she was making that kind of stuff, it didn't sound like that would be a language. Maybe, I guess, it like clickage and stuff, that sort of thing. It kind of reminded me of a little bit, just a little bit abnormal, but it was like a married couple, basically. Tom, don't go down there. He's he got a gun and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go teach him a lesson. How dare he? I've been sitting over here all night trying to get a deer, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of his crap. And she was like talking him down, and I could hear him giving her some crap. And they're moving along. They're 100 yards out. Well, more than that, because when they stopped, they're 100 yards out, but they were parallel in this wood line. They're in between a house, two houses over there. I believe he crossed the road, and now he's in between two houses. And once they're at 100 yards, they stop. They're quiet, and I hear two different. And it sounds like I hear the creeping and the slinking, the sneaking of Sasquatch, and it's hard to describe. I call it, they're slinking through the woods, and they're probably on all fours, and they're creeping, tiptoeing through the woods, and it sounds very you would think that 1,000-pound animal would sound like for a bull in a China store, cabinet store, whatever. It's this total opposite. It sounds like a small game animal. It sounds like a small animal. So when you hear it, you're like, there's no way that that's a Bigfoot because that just sounds so small. But in fact, it's not. And if you hear like a squirrel, does the opposite. A squirrel will make so much noise. Bigfoot's the opposite. It's a huge animal and it makes so quiet and stealthy noise. So, yeah, there's some interesting pictures. Actually, if you go on, again, shout out to Val Zavala. His Facebook group is the Gumshoe Guys Corner, Michigan Bigfoot reports and sightings and reports. It is the best place. You will find evidence there. You will find nowhere else. Evidence of animals that kills and mutilations of bears actually ripped apart. And actually, he has a picture of a bear that is spiked on a tree about like 20 or something feet up in the air. So, yeah, if you want to see some real good evidence and stuff, and even some, lately there's been a lot of posting a lot of Bigfoot pictures and stuff, and there's some interesting ones that I've never seen anywhere else. I'm not saying they're real, but I've definitely never seen them floating around anywhere else. So, and anyone who's talked to Val and stuff knows he's a stand-up, credible, 100% credible guy, and is very knowledgeable in this. And so, yeah, so Gumshoe Guys, Michigan Bigfoot reports. It should take you to the page and stuff, and you should be able to find it there. He's a no-nonsense guy. Don't troll. Don't swear. Don't, he might give you one chance and that's it. Very professionally run thing. It's not a place for you to mess around in. But everyone's opinions and welcome and stuff. But trolls are definitely not. So I'll read through the comments. I haven't really been paying attention, so hopefully everyone's doing good. I see there's a lot more people in the chat. Good to see everyone. Got Pyromedic. I was attacked by a rabbit once. My dogs had it. Had it treed in a hollow, in a hollow snag, and it crawled up and jumped on my head. I swear it was punching me as I was falling to the ground. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. We got Iron Dogger. How you doing? Great woman up in Alaska and stuff. You can find her on different shows and stuff she's hosting and appears on. Yeah. So I got chased one time. Me and my buddies got chased by a skunk in the middle of the night during like a half moon or full moon. It's pretty bright, and we seen its the white stripe bobbing like this coming right at us, and we're like, what is that? What the crap is that? What is that? And when it got close enough, we realized that it was a big skunk, and it was beelining right towards us. And we don't know why. We didn't stay around and ask him why. We booked it out of there as fast as we could. But yeah, man, I don't know what he was doing, and they can move pretty fast. I actually filmed. There's a spot I go to, and there's a massive skunk. I mean, this is like the biggest skunk I've ever seen. I mean, as big as they can get, I would assume. I have video of him running across this field, and he is fast. And if he was chasing you and he wasn't tired, I think he would be able to catch most people because he didn't stop running. And I filmed him one time. I got up close, and I have him on film. I filmed him real close, and he was like 20 yards away from me. we were in tall grass, and I was walking and stuff, and I looked, and I just noticed his tail, and it was very tall grass. He went back down, and he was just looking around for bugs and stuff to eat. But I gave him a wide path. But I've been seeing him and stuff, and he's pretty cool. Yeah, so not when I camp there though, because I know that he's around, and he could be around my camp. He could be in the middle of the night right there, and I don't want to get sprayed. Had a dog that got sprayed one time, and got sprayed, came right up to me. Of course, I touched him, and he went in the garage, and it was like, I swear, him in that garage didn't stop smelling for like half a year, man. You just smell the remnants of it. And luckily, he didn't get sprayed in the eyes. If you guys didn't know, if you guys dogs get sprayed in the eyes, it can do a lot of damage. It can go blind. Of course, if you get hit in the eye, same thing. It's not good. Yeah, that video is very interesting, and I think I think it's legit, honestly. Unless that is like a deer, and there's just so much pixelization and something going on to where it appears to be like a humanoid. I think that is pretty legit, because the dude is not into that and it's kind of stuff. Never posted stuff before, and the interviews he's done since seems like he's pretty genuine. I think, you know what I think? I think that it was a perfect scenario where he was just in the right place at the right time in that spot. But I think the key thing is what he did, that throat singing stuff, was just something that they never heard, they never seen another person do. I guarantee, in that spot, to where they're just like, what the heck is this guy doing? And type of stuff. They just had to look. It was just something so out of the box, normal for them, as what normally would see humans do, or maybe what they've always been taught humans have done, and they've never seen a person doing a Buddhist. I believe he was doing a Buddhist like throat singing type of meditation thing, and so yeah, you do something like that to where they've never seen a person do that, or maybe they have no knowledge of that passed down. I think then they would be extremely curious, because that's new information that is vital to them. Of, is this good? Is this bad? Is this life threatening? What is this? Is this something something fun and neat? Something that's just weird? See, that's what I think that amazing about that video is that everything to lead up to that is, if that guy was just somewhere else a mile down the road and just did that, maybe nothing would have happened. Most likely nothing would have happened. But he was just in the right spot. Sasquatches were just in that area. Maybe they seen him come to that spot, followed him in, who knows. But it was just a perfect storm. And that is just how it happens. It's not like I go out there and it's like, oh yeah, I'm guaranteed to get Sasquatch. It's like there's a lot of domino effects that have to happen. I have to be in an area where there actually are Sasquatches actually there right now. Then I have to be close enough to where they can find me or hear me. Then they have to like actually want to go and investigate and be around me or respond to me, to even for me to even get evidence. And then it's just like, if they come close to you and just watch you and do nothing, then nothing happens, right? You would go home and say nothing happened, even though there was a Sasquatch there. So they have to like interact with you. Then they have to, there's a lot of things that have to go into play before you even can get evidence, and this like the evidence we just got, I'll put some of this trackways up. This is interaction. This is not them walking down the road and then oh sorry about that. Our child's trying to get some sleep, and so bear with me and stuff. It should be all right. So there's different tracks and stuff, and I'll show this one because this is the handprint. So the entire time we were there, we were in the deep swamp. We had one responding call a couple miles away, and the other time we were there, we thought it was kind of a dud because we weren't getting interaction, we weren't getting any response, we weren't getting anything that we felt like Sasquatches were like in the air with us, right? You know, we had our bear encounter, which we have on thermal. The next morning, I walk along the road and I find very odd impressions in different points along this 100-yard stretch where, you know, it's not normal animals and stuff. And it looks like, and speaking with other researchers and actually comparing notes, that these are actual Sasquatch impressions and stuff. And there's Robert Kreider, for one, actually has a kind of a chart picture, but basically data showing this 3-digit track, the 2 finger dip things, and even this possible bear track as being possible Sasquatch. But these ones for sure, and they match up with what he's found in New Mexico and stuff. This one especially, this thumb 3-digit, sometimes it's a 2-digit, but this 3-digit he actually has found, and actually has found it enough to where he's included it on a reference picture and stuff, which I thought it was pretty interesting, because when I seen that, what I first found, I found this. So I first found this, and at first glance, you know, people are like, oh, it's a deer. If you look on the right side, those lines are not connected. It's not a V hoof shape track. If you look at the left side, it is not a V shape. It is not connected as a V shape. They are connected in the middle, as you see. There's no other tracks around it. There's no deer tracks walking to, like, you know, a deer didn't just step there and then just like turn around and step there again. There are no other tracks. If you look closely, you know, they're not connected like that. And so this is a possible finger dip. And on Robert's picture and chart and other people examples show a kind of this finger dip stuff, which I thought was very interesting because it is showing a correlation with my evidence that we just found. This finger dip of the 3-digit handprint, which I 100% think is Sasquatch. I mean, I can't say I didn't see it do it, but like, I can know animal tracks. There are no other animal tracks around it. There are no animal tracks that make that kind of thing. This, you know, you could say, you know, whatever. I would accept that. Yes. I found this track, which appears to be a footprint. No other tracks around it. No tracks leading up to it. What I think has going on is they were on the side of the road in the grass, and they made these random impressions by reaching with the handprint and the finger dip. I guess maybe this one maybe jumped 1 foot on the road, jumped off the road, because there's no other tracks. If this is a bear track and this is a double step of a bear track, okay, that's the right side, right? That would be a right foot. Where's the other set of tracks? Where's the left side, front foot, paw, back paw? And it should be a continuous track line in the roadway that I could find. A bear's not gonna, I'm sorry, but a bear's not gonna run and jump off the grass land on 1 foot or 2 foot, a double step on the two right side feet and paws without touching on its entire left side, and then jump onto the grass. That's just not happening at all. No. So I found those two, and I found that one, and that one piqued my interest. Like, what the heck is this? And there's no other tracks, and it's just like, okay, now I have to really start looking, because that is abnormal. If it is a bear, and that is a double step of a bear, where's the whole left side? Where are all the tracks leading to and fro of this track? They're just completely gone. But then I found this handprint, and it just blew me away, because if you look how thick they are, and how, I mean, they're way bigger than a human. Okay. And as an animal, a normal animal track, that's not a normal animal track. There's not even anything going to and fro from it. It was just like something reached out and just pressed 3 digits into the dirt just a little bit, and that's it. And it's a massive hand. I mean, that's a pretty big digit. And see how we drove over. Those are our fresh tracks for when we had the bear counter. Those were the last set of tracks on that road. And we ran over bear tracks, because we tried to find where the bear crossed the road, but we drove over them, because we went back to camp, got the car, we drove there, drove past it, ran over a set of tracks, turned around, went back, and ran over the other set of tracks, because I didn't find any bear tracks where it crossed. But it's possible that we ran over the tracks where it crossed the road. But anyways. So the next morning I go out, and this impression is over top of the tire print, indicating that was more fresh than when we drove there. Okay, so then there's one more. Now this could be a bear track, but Robert Kreider thinks that it is actually a Sasquatch track. And what I found odd was this was the only track I found. Again, it's 2 feet off the road, off the grass. It's only one track. There's no claw marks. Maybe Iron Dogger, you seeing bear prints. What's your thought on this? There's no claw marks in this as a bear. It would be a black bear. We don't have grizzly bears here. Robert Kreider thinks it's a Sasquatch impression, because there's no claws. I think it's odd because, again, if it's a bear, it's on 4 legs. If it pressed one leg out onto the grass, 2 feet into the road, it should have another impression, the left side, to stabilize itself. Okay, to even get off of the road. Like, a bear can't just land on one leg, and then not touch the other ground, and then it's gonna jump off and not, it's just not possible, in my opinion. But it does look bear-like, but there are no claws. So and this was right by the entrance to our camp on the road. This is 100 yards away from where the bear was. There are no other tracks going to and from this. It's actually off of the road. Yeah. So you can definitely tell that, there's digits right there. I don't see claw impressions. My opinion was, maybe the claws, it pressed them in, and when it just came out, maybe it filled the holes and just left the digit impressions. But he's pretty adamant that it's probably Sasquatch. if that's just a bear, we just take everything else out. This is not bear, 100%. This, even if you said it was a bear double step and you, for whatever reason, there's no left side to the bear at all. Okay, whatever. And if you say this is whatever, that's no problem. You can't explain this one away so easily as, oh, it's just a bear double step. Oh, it's just like a bird that landed down and it's doing some squiggly lines in the sand and stuff, which there would be footprints of the bird. Anything that touches this ground, that's even even mice. I should have took pictures of the mice tracks to show anything that's stepping out here is making tracks. It's pretty soft powdered dirt and it was dry, so even if all the other tracks impressions were just bull crap, that one right there, I mean, to me it just jumped out so dramatically compared to seeing all these other ones. And when I investigating it and stuff, it's just it just stands out so much above the norm that I am willing to say that yes, I believe that is a Sasquatch imprint. So let me look at some of these comments. So the Sasquatches, long story long, for the Sasquatches to have put their imprints there and to have done this, okay, first off, they never even interacted with us when we were at camp. And if they just did this, how, did they observe us interacting with the bear and stuff? Because how would they know to put these impressions on the roadway? And some are a lot by where the bear, kind of like 10-20 yards this way from the bear, 10-20 yards this way, and there's one right by our entrance to our think. Okay, how would they know to put them in those spots? How would they know they would even go and look for them? Why wouldn't they have just interacted in some other way that we would have for sure 100% knew that it was Sasquatch there, leaving a footprint at our camp or yelling or doing all sorts of stuff? Why leave such minuscule, vague, cryptic impressions that most people probably wouldn't even notice? And the only reason I went down there to look was because of the bear encounter, and I wanted to see, what other evidence of, maybe there was more tracks, maybe it had crossed over again and stuff that we could prove positive. I mean, at the time we knew 90% sure that it was a black bear when we encountered and filmed it. But we wanted to be 100% sure, so we don't want to find evidence of it. But we might have looked down the roadway because of impressions and how great it is to leave, but we were specifically looking because of what happened with the bear. So how would they even have known to leave that stuff there if they didn't know what had happened with the bear? Right? I don't know. There's so many that's speculating, so many unanswerable questions to it. But the fact is that we found these impressions. We found them on the roadway. We found them in an area and they're spread out in some key strategic points to where it's just how would they have known to put them next to our encounter spot if they weren't watching us there at that exact moment? Or what if we never looked down that road? What if, we had the encounter and I was like, whatever, it's not important to go find the bear tracks. Who cares? I would have never found them. We would have came back and said, we heard one call out in the middle of the swamp. So the domino effect of everything lining up to even find evidence the chances and odds are totally stacked against you. Me finding this is 100% lucky. I mean, I just wanted to go look and find the bear tracks, find anything else. And found that. If we didn't do that, if we chose to get up early and hit up this other spot really quick, we could have ran over those evidence. If someone else passed by, that stuff would have been gone. But it just takes a lot of dominoes to line up just perfectly for you to find this stuff and be able to record it and stuff too. So it's not easy. It's not necessarily hard, but it's not easy. I think they were on the grass, maybe one, I don't know how many. I think it was on the grass, and at different points it did different impressions. It must have jumped, it had to get over the road to get on the other side to make those impressions. If it was crawling on all fours along the roadway, going down the roadway, we would have had a whole trackway to show you. But that footprint, it was like, something jumped on the road and jumped off. Or that was the only logical way of something, any animal that made that would have had to like jump to that spot and then jumped off the road, because there are no other tracks going to and fro it. So I don't think it was necessarily crawling on the roadway, but it was making impressions. And that right there, that stamping in the ground right there, that seems like that was intentional. Because that finger dip, that could be whatever, no one would, average person, think that's Sasquatch or anything of significance. I just thought it was abnormally odd. And then when everything else started popping up, I was like, okay, now this might fit, because it's I'm finding this, okay, whatever. I'm finding that footprint, which actually does have some toe impression lines. I was like, okay, wow, this really piqued my interest. This was like, oh my god, okay, so now I have to really pay attention. Now what are these finger dip things? Because then I have to relook at that. It's not deer, because deer are V-shaped and they come directly and they connect. They connect, and they're generally always the same shape. On a flat surface, they're always the same shape. They're always connected like that. They're not like disconnected, like with that finger dip. Normal animals just leave a trackway, man. They just walk across the road. They're not like, let me just make a little imprint here while I'm off the grass for no reason at all, because normal animals do that. They don't. Only something with intelligence that would, and another thing I thought is like, I wonder how much time do they spend like drawing or doing prints and doing different like artwork and different stuff on sand and different stuff, because that's a whole nother thing that can open up your brain and involve you intelligently, is art. That's another side of a highly intelligent life form, is art and doing that sort of stuff. So it's just fascinating stuff, fascinating evidence that we can find and show you guys, and I believe the domino effect is, we happen to be in a great area, they happen to be there, they happen to like us enough to do these little handprints, I guess, for us to find. They didn't have to do it. It served no purpose for them to just do that, other than, and how would they even know if we found them? Like, why make these imprints if you're not going to be there to watch that person even find them? You're just going to leave these and hope that hopefully these people find them. I'm just going to be way over here. I'm not even going to know. I'm just going to be wondering. No. They set stuff in place to see if a person will notice it. And then how will that person interact with it if that person's picking up on stuff? I'm assuming, this is theories on this. My theory, I can't prove this, but if they made the impressions for us to find, and they would be in the area watching us to see if we found them or not, to see if we are paying attention enough to see them, to see if we can identify it as something abnormal, and possibly if we can identify it as them. Now, again, we're out there doing our Bigfoot stuff, making calls. We actually did some knocks, different stuff that has shown success different in this spot. We have one call, and so we made it pretty abundantly clear what we were doing. We were out there Sasquatching for them, not just camping. So, I mean, there's just so much. It just boggles my mind. Every time I go out there, I always leave back with more questions than answers, 1,000 times over. Every time I have an amazing encounter like me and Jason's, our encounter up in the UP, amazing stuff, but it just left me with thousands of questions that I just cannot answer, and thousands of stuff that I just speculate on because it's just amazing. So yeah, I know bears cannot retract claws like cats, and that's not a cat track because cats have very distinctive like a paw, and like the bottom of their paws have a very distinctive ridge line and stuff. It's not rounded and stuff, and it's well, I mean, it's like a cat kind of, but see, that's what I thought. I thought the claws would show, but maybe I thought maybe like the claws were like, and I know black bear claws are made for climbing and stuff, so they're pretty rounded and stuff. They're not like a grizzly bear's, which are for digging. I thought maybe, it could have like pushed, turned, did something. I don't know. Could be a bear. But there are no claws, tracks in that, which, if that one is able to be proven like a Sasquatch or at least not a bear, I mean, what is it? And the fact that there's only one stomped out, and the fact that it is right across from where our entrance is to our camp off the road, along with everything else, would point to Sasquatch is making these impressions on purpose in different strategic points for us to find. I don't know. I mean, why else would they put an imprint facing our entrance to our camp? I don't know. Unless, we're supposed to find them, and maybe, I don't know. It's so, this is where it's at. It's like, okay, why? It's not, I already know the real, I'm going to try to prove them and stuff, but I want to know why. Why are they doing this? What are they doing? Why are they doing this? How come they're acting like this? Are they really trying to like put stuff for us to find? Why are they doing that? Are they watching us? I want to know why. Why? I don't care if they're, I already know they're real. I don't care about that. I mean, I would love to prove it. I want to do it. I'm trying to do everything I can, but like after they're proven scientifically and accepted, then it's the why, and observing what they do every single day, like National Geographic getting footage of the great apes and stuff, showing, oh, this is what they do during, blah, blah, blah. And they take you to that dramatic storyline of how one grows up and, becomes a leader of the pack or whatever. Long-term video observation of what they do and why they do it. That's what I want to try to get to. I don't want to be, we're stuck on like, so trying to prove it and stuff. Everyone's like, you can't say it's 100%. It's like my evidence. You can't say it's 100% Sasquatch because you don't know. Okay, sure. I'm not going to get stuck on trying to freaking prove everything as, Sasquatch for the next 50 years. I want to try to get past that and and understand why they're doing stuff. What are they doing and why are they doing that? I want to get interaction, like the stuff what we've got, that, you know, it's not a one-off thing. It's actual interaction back and forth, audio, physical. I mean, you can see what we have stuff being thrown at us and on evidence. We have wood knocks. I have a bunch of stuff, you know. Usually how I go about sharing it is I make a video, I put it online, and I share the crap out of it for like a day. That's about it. And the rest of the time it just floats, and that's it. I don't keep ramming it down everyone's throat. I should probably repost some older evidence and all the evidence because, you know, I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen it. You guys think it's pretty good stuff. I think it's pretty good stuff. Is it Patterson level and is able to prove Sasquatch is real? No. But I think you can see some of it and say, man, you know, if that ain't Sasquatch stuff, you know, what the heck is it? That's not a bear. That's not a deer. That's not a normal animal. If we can just get past, we can get on the next level of stuff, not just being so focused on, I mean, we fight over, you know, is this track a Bigfoot or is it not? Okay, you know, let's all compile that evidence and, you know, just try to prove it and stuff. Yeah, sure, but like, I want to get interaction, because that's something that, okay, you know, once you start hearing it and it's interaction back and forth, that means multiple things, not just one-off things. You know, oh, you know, we heard something in the woods, you know, or we got growled at by something, or, you know, we thought we were being followed by Sasquatch and stuff, you know. That's a one-off thing, but it's like, yeah, we got followed, then we got something thrown at us, then we got some audio. I'll play some right now of multiple things happening during a night that you can say, you know, what is this? This is more interaction. This is not one-off stuff. Okay, this is compounded evidence, compounded audio, our emotions, everything on video. You know, you disprove it. What other animal is doing this? What other animal is following us, making these noise, throwing this massive rock into this creek, you know, making this huge amount of noise? Okay, that's a bunch of things that you have to disprove individually, all lined up in a domino effect, showing our interaction through the whole thing. If any one of those is a Bigfoot, you have to prove it all. You have to disprove it all. If any one of those is Bigfoot, our encounter is 100% real. Everything that we've documented, which it is, and we've shown it. So I'll show a little clip right here. And on this clip, we have we get hissed at, we get different grunts and growls, and a massive rock that at least this big, you know, minimum this big or bigger. That if it would have hit me, I'm mush. I'm not just broken. I'm mush. You're pancaked. The velocity, the weight, the height. It sounded like it threw it up in the air and just came straight down. Bam. And if you're out there and they do that to you, you're not going to hear it. You just bam, and it hits you in your head and you're done. You're dead. So when people say, you know, it's not dangerous to go look for Bigfoot, they're completely wrong. Because if you're out there in the middle of the darkness, this thing just picks up a rock and you're just out there standing, you can't, you know, you're blind without your light, and it chucks it at you, you're dead. You can wear a motorcycle helmet. If it chucks it at you, you're dead. And it's not hard for them. It's not going to be hard. It's not like they're going to break a sweat doing it. Okay. It's just not like they're going to like spend so much energy and be exhausted at the end of this hunt with you. They're literally just going to be like, huh, okay, pick up a rock, get close enough and just chuck it at you, underhand style, because they don't throw like a baseball. They throw underhanded, and they're very accurate, especially when you're not moving and you don't expect it to hit you in the head. Okay, so, all right, here it is.
What was that? I don't know. Did you hear that hiss?
Oh my God, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Something just got thrown in the water.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Something just got thrown in the water.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Something just got thrown in the water.
Yeah. Sabe.
Oh. You hear that?
Sabe.
You hear that?
Sabe.
You hear that?
Sabe.
You hear that?
Sabe.
Well, hopefully you guys could hear that, all that different stuff. That was pretty crazy. You know, in that moment, that other researcher who backstabbing asshole, one of the many, you can see how emotional he is with all the different responses we're getting because they're extremely close to us. That hiss was like on the other side of a bush. I mean, 10 yards is 30 feet, right? So it's like 30 feet or closer to us to be able to hear that. It's not a little kitty cat out there. Okay. It's yes, Sabe is a Ojibwe or Potawatomi or Chippewa word. It's actually Algonquin, which is Ojibwe, Potawatomi, Chippewa, Algonquin. There's a couple more tribes. Their languages are all technically Algonquin languages. So they all kind of are like cousin languages, all connected and stuff. So yes, Sabe means Sasquatch, and it means honesty in Ojibwe, and is one of the 7 teachings of the Ojibwe is honesty, and the representation of that is Sabe, Sasquatch. I have a video on my YouTube of that. It's the 7 teachings of the old elders or something. I can't remember what I named it. It's 7 teachings and stuff. Basically, it's this tribal member goes through the stories of each and every one and the animal that represents it. And the interesting one is Sabe, Sasquatch, and it represents honesty, which is very odd in modern times. I think it's kind of odd because this whole honesty thing of I really did see this and going back and telling people and them not believing you type of aspect to it. So anyways, you guys can watch that. I'm going to show you guys some more evidence that we have on here. There's a lot of stuff you can find on the channel. Some of it short videos, some of it's in more longer expedition, and some special evidence is only shown on live streams. So I got some evidence that if I had my computer working, you guys be seeing it. So some more tracks. It shows stuff like I said earlier in the stuff that we found that they put on the trail. We take off the trail, they put back on the trail. Snap stuff along the same section that they keep putting stuff off the trail. And we take it off. If I was able to be out there for, say 50 weeks, like if I was able to be out there every single week for 5 days and then spend the weekend back with the family, I think we would get amazing stuff. And if we would be able to get funding for that and have equipment to be able to do that and process that and present it and keep pumping it out, I think realistically we would be able to keep pumping stuff out for you guys on the regular of some epic stuff. And then in fact, the more time we were able to spend out there long term, even just coming back for weekends, because I got my kids and everything like that, so like I have to come back, but spending a week out there and being able to get paid for it because I got to provide for my family, right? I think that we would be able to get the best stuff out there, hands down. And us being out there long term like that would get them so used to us if we worked in one single area that I honestly think that we would probably get in my camera. We would eventually get them to come on night vision at nighttime for sure, 100%. Now during the daytime, that's a big trust for them because they know that we can see way better. But at nighttime, they know that we are at a disadvantage and they will come closer. They will step out, like what me and Jason's seen. If I had my night vision camera that I have now, you guys would, I would have better stuff than Patterson film because it would show 2 Sasquatches behind a tree at nighttime. And I am sure, 100% sure, I would be able to see the details, the fur. You would have been able to tell. So, maybe in the future and stuff, I think we will be able to take a little more longer term, at least a month out there nonstop, and be able to do this. But I think what we are doing is slowly doing our thing and getting evidence. And I think that we're lucky to be able to show you guys all the stuff we are getting and to be lucky enough to keep getting it as often as we are. It's I did not get it out enough this summer, with family, growing kids and all that. It just happens. But when we did get out there, sometimes nothing happened. Sometimes nothing did happen. There's been a lot of times we actually have had stuff happen. And if you think about it, and I've thought about this, the statistical odds of the amount of times that we actually went out this season and the amount of stuff that we actually got compared to other people going out a heck of a lot more than us, and the amount of stuff that they got or never got anything, this really makes me wonder why we're able to get the success that we have and other people are not, because I truly don't feel like I'm doing anything special. Like I'm not doing anything special out there other than putting what I think makes, we're not doing anything special. There's nothing out there we are doing that no one else is doing. We don't have any special technique, tool, no special call, no special nothing that we are using that there's no one else not. All we're doing is just going out there and trying to interact with them and trying to get interaction and looking around and paying attention. I mean, that's it. So give me 1 minute. I gotta plug my phone in, I guess. All right. So there we go. All right. So So I don't know, man. I don't know. We're just lucky, I guess. I don't know what else to say. We're just lucky. Maybe they like us. Maybe, you know, I don't know. There's just a lot of speculation of what could be going on. There's nothing special about us, but you know, there could be some certain things going on. I've been doing this for since I was 13, well, longer technically, but my first encounter scared me half to death at 13. That's almost 20 years, man. It'll be 19 years. I don't know. I've been doing this a long time. I've been out in different spots, mostly by myself until I started Lost Cryptids. I didn't go out with anyone until I started Lost Cryptids Conservatory and started going out with James. And that was 2019. So you're talking a lot of years of just myself. And I did not get evidence to show you guys. I wasn't in the care about trying to get evidence to show people. I was just out there trying to experience it myself. And I mean, most of the time I was just in the wilderness, in the woods to enjoy myself, and just, you know, started having interaction. Then I pursued it. You know, my mom had died when I was 13. I was pretty much destroyed at that point. Nothing mattered, you know, school didn't freaking matter. Nothing mattered. I feel a lot better going out in the woods, you know, and, you know, Sasquatch and stuff and all that was, you know, on my mind. It wasn't a major focus, but when I did have, you know, I don't know, started getting into it more, but when I did have, my encounter, you know, and it scared me and stuff, but it really just like, you know, it helped, I think. You know, it was you know, one traumatic thing, another traumatic thing. I've had a few traumatic things in life, but it just piqued my interest a lot, and you know, I was pretty focused on that for a lot of years. Still am, honestly, never stopped. So, that's why I just love being out in the wilderness and stuff. And there's chance. I mean, when I was out there in that property, you know, I was out there in the woods crying. You know, 13, 14, 15-year-old kid who doesn't have his mom. Yeah, I'm out there crying, man. And, you know, maybe certain Sasquatches picked up on that, seen that. You know, I don't know. I've been in other places all around, been trying to do this and trying to interact with as many different groups as I can. You know, I have certain spots that I go to and have been for years that, you know, the interaction, you would think like, oh, they know me, I should have all interaction all the time. And it's like, well, they're very slow. And if I could spend the more time I spend there every single day, the more that it picks up. But there's like up in the UP with me and Jason's encounter. We were there for 1 week, and two of them showed themselves to me and Jason. We were there for 1 week. Okay, so like they're all different. It's all situational. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how they're going to react and stuff. So, like I just said, there's places I've been for years, and it takes me a whole week for them to get like wood knocks and start doing stuff in the open. Where, I mean, we're in a place for a freaking week, and they showed themselves to me and Jason. So, which you can see that whole raw, unedited encounter in 4K. It's shot in 4K. So if you're not watching it in something in 4K or at least 1080, you better get on it. You can see that whole encounter. And if Jason's IR light on the camera, or if we had extra light stuff, blah, 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 we would have had better stuff than the Patterson, because they actually were letting us watch them. We pointed at them. They weren't running away. If the camera was powerful enough to pick up on them, we would have had the best stuff out there. So, it's a matter of time. We are going to do it. We got better equipment now. We have all the drama-filled, problematic thieves, con artists, and all these negative people out of our group, because we had a few of them, and they show themselves, and this happens to a lot of different groups all over, and it happened to me. And I knew that when I was working with people, it was probably going to happen one time or another. And some people I considered my friends who I did trust with my life. I'm out there in the middle of a swamp, potentially in danger, and I have my battle buddy with me, right? That's the only person I have out there to rely on. It sucks that these people stab you in the back. They wanted to steal. Some of these people attempted to steal the Lost Cryptids Conservatory as if they could. Try to steal money. I've stolen equipment. Can't get back. Events that they measle the way through. Had problems. This other guy. If they're all my friends, they shouldn't. You shouldn't. Be so ready to backstab and throat cut to get what you want for yourself. Why don't you go and build it yourself? Why what the heck you trying to step on what I've done and had people help with, so what you can swoop in and try to take what you want for free, the bare minimal effort, with no originality and no original idea. I don't know. Now I look at them, it's been a whole year. Nothing to show, no evidence, and their events have failed and sucked. So I guess karma's a bitch. Meanwhile, we have stuff to show you all the time, stuff that we regularly get. If I spent more time out in the woods, I'd probably have a crap load to show you guys. But this summer was not the best summer for me, and family comes first. I have a 3-year-old son and other kids, and we, they come first no matter what. But there was definitely going to be a time when, school's in session and they're older, and daddy doesn't have to be around to take care of them as much. Be able to go out in the field a lot more. And I think, 5 years, 10 years, I plan to do this 20 plus years, I may keep doing this till I can't walk in the woods no more. Maybe by then the mystery will be solved, and there will be no mystery to be left to look for. Me and my girlfriend, we there's some plans that we got in place that in 10 years time, I think that, we should have a lot of evidence to show you guys, and we're going to be doing a lot of different stuff too. So, and it's been a heck of an experience, especially having people starting the Lost Cryptids. I started this YouTube channel. It was not a group. It was just me, as a place to really just hold my evidence, store my stuff, and then just show you guys publicly. And then, the channel started growing. Obviously, people started seeing it. I started sharing it in different groups and stuff, and just building it up. And I, had people see all the people who I've never asked anyone to join my group. I think I asked James. I asked another person. Everyone else, it was just, kind of came together, added more people, and they just, recommended, really good fit, blah, 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 gave him a chance, stuff like that. What I really should have done is just not let that one drunk idiot join the first place. And I think everything else would have been fine. And some of the people actually would not have been influenced to try to do certain things and try to make money and stuff. If you steal a check for $5,000 for an event, and because you think that's a lot of money that you're going to steal a check. When I set up a group and there's, I have 4 people, and, we're going to split everything, everything that I've built, brand, everything, whatever, We can split all of it 4 ways, you know. Okay, cool. Let's set up an LLC. Let's do everything the proper way. Let's do this. When you have one freaking guy who ends up doing this spiel. See, this is what happens with a con artist. See, con artists can sell you a lot of stuff. They sell you it, but when it comes to presenting it, to being able to do it, it's when things fall apart. You know, it's the ideas sell. Doing it's complicated. So, you know, we do this event, right? The Michigan Bigfoot Conference that we did, hosted by the Lost Cryptids, right? And all these different people and stuff who were in the group, the Lost Cryptids, right? We have one person trying to steal a check. We have everything set up, trying to get this LLC set up, right? We get a bank account set up for the LLC, right? For all the businesses, blah, 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 the right, proper channels, right? So like no individual person can just steal all the money and stuff. We're not going to have this issues, right? Right. When you go into business with people, you know, you expect things, right? A business partner, a partnership. Well, when you have one drunken idiot who steals a check for $5,000, who wants to open another bank account, only in his name that he can check the money. I mean, come on, it's just stupid. Then you have other people trying to defend him for various reasons. I gave a prediction, and I told pretty much everyone it, and it's come to fruition pretty closely. Like I've predicted it. Like everything that this guy does is going to fall apart. And when you're in it for money, you're going against karma, and you're stabbing people in the back, and you're listening to this guy. When you listen to this guy and you're stabbing everyone in the back to listen to that guy and go with his plan, it's never going to work out for you. And it didn't. So, you know, we had problems. We broke up and all that and had to deal with certain stuff. Of thievery. I had to deal with people trying to steal shirts as if they were Lost Cryptids Conservatory, trying to keep selling shirts and merchandise, you know, under the guise of being, oh yeah, we're members and this is all legit. I already told them cease and desist, and I had to deal with even them going on, you know, doing, you know, shows and stuff, and they can't even talk about any good stories without mentioning stuff. And it's because, well, you know, because I took them to all the freaking places where they had most all the evidence. Encounters that they had. So when they tell a story, it's like they have to make up stuff to like try to get me out of it. I've had ultimatums where, well, you need to write us the Jason Kenzie encounter. You need to write everything down in writing. If you can give it to us so we can present it to, so I don't know who the fuck, some academia scientists out west, who gives a crap. You know, otherwise, you know, you aren't going to be presented in that. Okay, so what, you're just gonna like blip me out? You're gonna Thanos snap me out of reality? You can't. So you're gonna lie and make up and hoax a document to send to academia that you want them to take seriously? Okay, that's smart, bro. That's coming from this ex-Fed who I had problems with. You know, we used to have yeah, oh yeah, you had Feds on here. They were, that guy is mentally unstable, and now he's wearing a dress. So I don't know. I never did like him, never did trust him. But again, when you have other people, you know, and they felt a certain way about people, you know, I let things go their way. You know, I don't want to be a dictator and control. You know, I let people run things. I took a step back. My son had cancerous growth in his lungs and had to get 2 different surgeries at 2 different times during the year, right? It's pretty important to me, right? I really don't give a fuck about what's going on with the Lost Cryptids at that moment, right? Okay. You know, the audacity for them to say that I'm not around enough at that time to deal with whatever bullshit was going on. What the fuck? Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Don't matter. I'm back now anyway, so you don't need the reins. But certain comments like that, certain comments I didn't like. My woman didn't like at all. But I was too stupid and let it slide. Whatever. It bit me in the back. I had a lot of shit that bit me because I let people slide and didn't listen to my gut instincts on certain stuff. So, and then, yeah, I don't really talk about personal stuff. Like, my son had cancer and like that. No one knew about it. Lost Cryptids team members at the time. No one knew about it until it basically was happening. So there's no reason to make that stuff public. I don't need fucking pity about that shit. Okay. But what I do expect is, not to be backstabbed, not to have stuff stolen, not to have you conniving and making other people hate me because of what you're saying, based off what you said. Nothing of what I've done, no evidence of what I've done, no nothing like that. Just because you're telling stories and you're blowing smoke up people's asses. And now, I had people send me, this is equipment for the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. We went down to 168 with Bigfoot Odyssey. Carrie gave us a whole set of radios, walkie-talkies. Not cheap. This is for the Lost Cryptids. This is for you guys. Those are stolen. I can't get those back. Other stuff. Very expensive stuff. This is for the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. The group. Stolen. Because the guy wants to whine and bitch and complain to the guy who gave it to him. It's mine. You're totally mentally unfucking stable, bro. You want to call the cops and act like I'm stealing this shit from you, and the guy sent me, I have the fucking mail, I have I take it. I'm not gonna fucking deal with this. I don't need it. I don't need a fucking piece of shit thermal. It actually was a really good thermal. I don't fucking need it. You've had it for a whole fucking year. You have nothing to fucking show. That's how I feel about it. Is it working for you? Because that's how I feel. This is me when I get a little riled up and stuff about it, because I do feel like, you know what, motherfuckers, you guys did me dirty, and you fucking did me dirty pretty damn bad, and I don't fucking like it. I don't like you. I'm never gonna like you. That's just how it is, man. Dudes threaten me. Chad, Mr. Chad D. You watch all these live streams previously we've had where he's drunk. I hate it. But you know what? He was a friend. I can overlook certain things if you're a friend. Maybe a little too much. But he's threatened to fucking shoot me before. He's never, we should meet up, beat me up. I have a whole argument. I have evidence of this stealing the check bullshit, of him going behind my back, going behind other people's back, trying to pick fights with every fucking person. And he picks up his freaking Magnum cop flashlight over his head, and he's going to fucking hit me with it. And I'm standing there like this. I wish you would. Just do it. Because that's all it's going to take, bro. I don't want to knock your 50-year-old ass out because you're drunk as shit and you have no brain left. But if you fucking hit me with a flashlight, I have no choice. So anytime you see Chad Datema out there doing his little Bigfoot thing, just this is the kind of guy he is. Anytime the people he runs with, nah. There's certain people I don't mention. I don't want to mention them, who cares? I don't, I don't. Yeah, they did me dirty pretty good. And now they got all these events and they're doing shit. That's the whole thing. Good point, that I like about it is that, finally I'm seeing that I got what you deserved, right? Running with that idea was great, right? Losing a friendship was worth all of this nothingness, right? So here we are a year later, multiple different video pieces of evidence to show you guys, multiple different trackways to show you guys, encounter stories to show, We actually had actual video of different stuff. Hell, me and my girl went ghost hunting in a graveyard and out in this other place, and she got grabbed. And we're seeing orbs and different lights and stuff. You know, I wish the GoPro would pick it up, but it didn't. The next week we got the night vision because of what the fuck we seen, man. So like, we go out there and we try, and we actually don't, excuse my language, but fuck around and, you know, pussyfoot around. You know, we actually go out there and try to have interaction. We don't get scared off. At least I don't. Other people get pretty, it's intense. And the only reason why you don't hear me in these videos being as scared of these other guys as they are, because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been in these situations a number of times to where like at, you know, at 13 and stuff, you know, and some of these in close encounters, you know, I really didn't care if I died. You know, my mom had passed away. My life is pretty shit already. Like, if a Sasquatch rips my fucking head off, oh well, right? I mean, it's, you know, as sad as and depressing as it was, that's kind of how it was. Of course, in the moment, you know, I don't want to die. I had the encounter, I've told several times, but in the moment where I had my stick up and I'm thinking, yeah, I am gonna fucking die. I didn't want to die, you know. So you gotta keep living, keep going and stuff, and you grow and stuff, and life continues on and changes and becomes a beautiful blessing and stuff, you know. Of course, life has hardships, but there's always blessings and beautiful things in between, you know, the ups and downs. So, so yeah, I don't take no bullshit anymore, and I have let no one join the group. I've had several people want to join, but I just don't. I don't fucking like people, especially when they do me dirty, and I just don't trust people, man. That's why I just don't trust people, man. Can't. Until you show me, and it takes a while. You know, I got James and I got Tyler. 100% trust them. 100% since day one. They've always been there. Never faded away, and never have gave me any gut feeling to not trust them. I've had gut feelings instantly meeting a person. I do not like this person. I do not trust them for whatever reason. I have no idea why. Go a whole year, and I, actually liking this guy, but I don't trust him for some reason. And of course, snakes always show their true skins at some point. Of course, now he's wearing a dress, so I don't know. I didn't like him. Never. Anyways, there's so much we could get into that, but we're not going to. So there's a little bit of it that you guys can know of why we don't have this big old group anymore. And there's other people that, before all that, separate instances, if you want to be a woman on my team and you want to flash your ass to the males on my team and you want to get drunk, I'm not there. This is when, I'm dealing with family stuff. But, I hear about, you guys are supposed to send, I send you guys to go do an investigation research. And all I hear, the report back is from people that I trust and stuff is, yeah, you guys just partied it up. And, that's all you guys did. It has, flashing ass and stuff and trying to get everyone to dance with different people and stuff. You think I want that? You think that looks professional? You think that that's gonna what? You guys go do that in your own fucking time. Not on a research trip, not when the only damn thing you're supposed to be doing is going to research Bigfoot. I don't come here to camp and party. Okay. I don't take time out of my schedule away from my family to book the only available time I have to fucking party with you guys. I'm taking it to go look for Bigfoot to get evidence. Okay. You guys fucking drink every other fucking day anyways. Why the hell are you taking the time to do it now? But, I can let certain things slide, give you some chances if you guys, but again, happens again, All right, well, that person's gone for various reasons. You're not professional. You're not respectful. Okay, another person, the eyewitness of the most recent report at that moment in time comes to us and wants to investigate, and we go out. We're gonna come do it on a Saturday. I can't go because I got kids stuff. I send a group to do it. If we have one person who shows up a day early, knowing everyone else is planning to do this, we got a proper way. This guy doesn't want us to make calls out there. He doesn't want to draw attention to his house because the creatures are looking in the windows at his kids, at his daughters, smacking the house, scaring the crap out of them to where, they're thinking about moving away. He's asked us not to do that stuff, right? So if we have one person who's our group who knows all of this information and knows the plan, the game plan of when everyone's supposed to show up, what we're going to do, I'm not there. There's other people supposed to do this stuff, right? Be in charge type of thing. If one person says, you know what, I'm going to go out there a whole day before, I'm going to go out there and try to find all the evidence I can first, try to have interaction first, make a bunch of fucking calls out there, do a bunch of stupid crap out of there, and then tell everyone about, did you not understand why he's asked of you? Professionally, what he asked of you. His family's in danger. His little livelihood and his home is about to be taken away from him. Maybe you should have, I don't know, the courtesy, the respect, the fucking intelligence to understand that maybe even though I want to get evidence of Bigfoot and there's possibly a Bigfoot literally right here in this area because it's brand new, maybe I shouldn't be that much of an asshole to do that. And I should just be professional, courteous, respectful, and understand that the severity of the situation. No? Oh, you want to be cocky about it? You don't want to give an F when all the other members are upset about you? You just wanted to fucking do it yourself and find the evidence for yourself. All right, well, you're gone. If a witness lets us know and you blatantly disrespect them in that sort of way and put them in danger, because that's it, you can say, well, there's nothing going to happen. There's never does happen. It doesn't matter. You did potentially put them in danger. The guy asked you not to do it, so you'd be gone. Even though I like that person, even though I really didn't want to do it, there's other members who were very upset, and there was other reasons too. He doesn't listen. If we are out there in the field, and if the team members say, hey, please, can you not make calls like that? Because, we are hearing stuff over here. It's aggressive. Or, hey, we're going to be quiet for 30 minutes. If you can't fucking be quiet for 1 fucking minute, you're not listening. You can't listen to be disciplined out there. You're not professional enough to be on the team to be out there. And I'm glad a lot of these people are gone. I wish not all of them were gone, but all the ones who really backstabbed me, they lasted the longest. Those parasites leashed on the longest, sucking on as much as they can. And that was just the conference, and that was it. So we did that conference. Maybe you guys heard about this other Michigan conference, same name, that they just had this last year. Didn't do good. That's my opinion about what I've seen. But, hey, they tried it on their own. Good for them, right? They just stole the name, stole all the ideas. Anyways, conned some other people to try to, get in on it. Hey, that's good. Karma's a bitch. I'm glad that it finally is happening because I knew it would. So, but there's little stuff, little shit. I always have to hear about stupid stuff. But all right. Anyways, yeah. My girlfriend never liked him, and so honestly, looking back, it was a blessing and a bad thing and a good thing at the same time because you evolve, and you learn and grow, and never gonna hopefully make that mistake with people again. Certainly never those people, and they have all the stolen equipment. They have thermal, blah blah blah, all this. They can't show you nothing. It's like because if I had that equipment, and different stuff. And all of them going out there, it's all doing all sorts of things. You think that, I don't know, at least one thing I could show you for 365 days of trying, you know, if they're that good and they thought they were top shit and all that. And I guess maybe, it's not as easy as they think. And it's not easy, but it is. It isn't. Maybe, it's the whole vibe thing, you're just shitty people, and Sasquatches don't like to hang around shitty people. They can understand that by how you act. If you're out, let's just say, no mind speak, no, animals can pick up on different vibes. Dogs don't like certain people with bad intentions, blah, blah, blah. If you're just out there drunk, acting like a buffoon, I'm pretty sure Sasquatch doesn't want to interact with you. There's no reason for it to. You're unhinged, unstable, can barely stand up. I mean, and the whole list of, if you're not, the way you interact with nature, if you throwing trash anywhere, you throw your freaking beer bottle out in the woods and stuff, do you really think a Sasquatch is going to think that's the kind of person I want to interact with? That's the kind of person I want to show myself to. You're out of your mind. So, it's the little stuff like that I think that you really have to watch out for. Is when you're out in the woods, is how you treat the environment. How do you treat their home? Do you leave trash when you leave? Do you pick up after yourself? Do you destroy things for no freaking reason? As a kid, as many kids, I'd go out in the woods and I'd smack a tree and destroy a little sapling with a stick just because, you're a kid and it's having fun. As an adult, doing that for no reason, to them to see that, because you're not a kid, they might look down on certain things. Why are you destroying the environment for no reason? Kids are having fun. It's a little different. Maybe they understand that. But for an adult to do some stupid thing, to destroy the environment, to pollute the environment, to do something that they don't like, whether or not they announce themselves to make it clear, they're not going to interact with you. They don't want to be around you. They're not going to, bring their kids around and to be put in danger and stuff. They're not going to be relaxed. You're not going to be able to get evidence. And maybe they can pick up on your vibe, pick up on your energy. And if you're just a shit person in general and you're backstabbing everyone that you ever freaking meet, maybe that you're putting out some vibes that they just don't want nothing to do with. Or maybe you get lucky and you're with other people that have different vibes and they want to interact with those people, and it just sucks that you're with them because they don't want to do with you. But that's what I think. So yeah, man, I try not to ever really litter or leave stuff out there. I feel guilty about it too, man. We live on this planet, we think we, this planet is ours, but we are borrowing it from our children and our children's children and our 7 generations from now. We are borrowing the planet from them, and whatever we leave for them to inherit is our choice and stuff. So hopefully it's going to be good, going better than it has been. So anyways, I'm gonna look through the chat. If you guys got any questions, let's hear them and stuff. It's been 2 hours and stuff. We'll probably wrap it up soon. Kind of enough of the ranting about backstabbers and all that for now. But glad to see all the support in the chat from you guys and stuff about it. And sometimes it does need to be said because people don't know the real story. People don't know what happened with us. Even people who have gone to and talked to these people regularly didn't even know. And of course they don't get the full story. And then he are totally shocked. But you know, I don't expect anyone else to like unfriend them and never do business with them just because of what they hear from me. I expect them that when they encounter the same stuff that's done to them, that they have a reference of, oh yeah, yeah, I remember. I remember hearing about this, seeing that, and all that. So yeah, it's been a great year. It's been a lot of up and downs. Like I said, like I've told, we've had drama, and I think this was one of the first times I said like some pretty drama stuff about it, because you know there's a reason why our group has shrunk and we don't have people. You can watch our old live streams. There was people who are on pretty regularly and they're not here ever again. And there's a reason why. So, and I don't want to be, you know, just telling you, you know, without actually telling you guys what happened, of why I don't like these people, why, you know, anything that they get, I would be personally biased against, because, you know, I know for a fact that Chad is just, everything is Sasquatch related tree structures. If you literally will take him out there, and if you push down a tree yourself and you just whatever, however it lands and stuff, he will straight up say it's Sasquatch manipulation. And there's been times where we will look at every detail and I will explain why it is 100% a natural tree fall. Don't got time for that, man. So there are tree manipulations. There are stuff that happens, but you just can't go out in the freaking woods and scan and say this, and this looks like Sasquatch stuff. Maybe 1% of the stuff you just pointed out, if we're lucky, could be. If you look at it and spend the details looking at the damn thing and proving why it's not natural, right? Any bimbo can point at a freaking tree, fell down, and say, you know, this tree manipulation, show and prove and show us and tell us why in detail, which we have done. There's videos of me doing that. I show you tree structures and I go through and I show you what I believe is a reason why this is manipulation and not natural deadfall. And hoaxers need to be exposed too. You know, these people need to be exposed, because I know in 5 years and 10 years, you know, they might get evidence and stuff, but people might think they're stand-up people, but they're not, you know. And hey, man, I think hoaxers need to be exposed more than anything. But con artists, thieves, people who steal equipment, sure, why not? Because that's what they're always going to do. If they've done it to me, they're going to do it to other people. And hoaxers, there was another thing. There was another hoaxer. I've showed a video on here before. This guy literally has a sweater, blue sweater. It goes like this in front of the camera. Shake, shake, shake. It's a blue sweater. I slow it down and you can see it. You can see the cuff of it and stuff. And he's on his front porch. He pans and looks. The story is a Sasquatch runs at him. He rolls out of the way. A grown man rolling out of the way on his back and stuff, not getting hurt. He's on his front porch. There's no sound of crashing or anything. He pans and looks. There's two cars. There's a car in the driveway. Man, there's two cars. I can't remember, but there's no Sasquatch running at him. There's no rolling out of the freaking way. Okay, he's literally just going like this in front of the camera. But he has a still image picture that it looks, you know, like the pattern of a face, and he draws eyes, and then he says there's a baby, and it floats around, and there's people who are like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen. He is getting away with it. And I've exposed him before. I made a video. I've showed it on here before, but I seen him posted it again today, and I had to post my video and expressed why people need to view this and why this is fake. I mean, it's so freaking cheap, man. He's made other videos, because when I made my video I just made for him, I exposed him like a year before or whatever, and he had changed his name, the name of his research outfit or whatever, and then he made other videos where he like cropped out, made it shorter and stuff, and cropped out as much of the sleeve as you could, and then he put it in black and white and stuff, and then he's just taking still images from it, trying to hide as much of the hoax as he can. But I had saved the original and stuff, so I have it and stuff, so I could make videos off of it. So, but the point is, this person has other evidence that he claims is Bigfoot and stories and stuff that goes behind it, and it's just fake, because if you're blatantly obvious that the way he hoax it is so that you will hoax every single thing, and it's bad, because if the guy actually got some really good evidence, I'd be 100% biased towards it, because I know he's a known hoaxer. So he's I don't know, whatever. If you see him, if you see that post and you see a comment with the video and all that, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to say the name of the group. I'm not going to say nothing. But if you're in that group and you come across it, then you know it's from me. I believe so. Yes, they have nocturnal night vision. It's very adamant to me that they are excellent night vision in the dark. We actually have evidence that I'll show you guys right now of eye shine that we got. An eye shine reflecting nocturnal vision. So this was from the me and Jesse Kenzie's encounter up in the UP, and so this is going to be very fast, really quick glimpse of eye shine, and it's going to be on the left side, right there. Right there, it'll swing back around. Right there, and so that shows nocturnal night vision right there, and that is a creature that we. Long story short, that was one of the creatures standing at the tree, and we went up to the tree, it moved off, and it was standing right there. It's like between 10 feet and 30 feet, it's less than 10 yards away. And we look, I literally look and facing this thing. I mean, I'm looking there, I don't see nothing. We glance away, and it just happens to catch it right there. And we capture it in another spot. Very fast. Again, left-hand side, really quick. Bam. You see it very fast right there. As we were walking away, and it actually followed us a little bit. So, yes, I believe that shows, and that they are able to see nocturnal night vision. So, and that's how close they get. They get that close to you, especially when they know that you can't see that close. And at that particular time, my amazing hunting headlamp, died out and stuff. So this thing sees like full body like identification at like 200 yards, eye shine at like 500 yards. It's for hunting coyotes and stuff. So that had died. We're using like little basic cheapy ones, and we can't see crap. And I think that is what really made him feel comfortable to get close and stay that close. If you have a very bright flashlight, then they typically like to stay outside of that range, or be able to hide if you point it at them. But if you don't have good flashlights, they get close to you. And for several different reasons, they want to see how close they can get, maybe testing their skills. They want to be able to absorb us, to hear us, maybe smell us, potentially take us out if needed. A lot easier to take a person out the closer you are to them, and as efficiently quick than to be a ways away. A Sasquatch is not going to a Sasquatch could come right up to you, sneak up on you, and just grab you and kill you, or throw a rock at you. Or a Sasquatch is not going to be 100 yards away, making all this racket, destroying the forest, bulldozing its way towards you to kill you. It's not going to telegraph. It's not going to telegraph anything. It's not going to give you a chance to turn around and get a gun out to shoot at him at a straight, direct line of where it's coming. No, it's going to sneak up behind you. It's going to grab you. And, maybe it's going to grab you and it'll cup your face, make you go quiet, bear hug you to death. Or how they really take things out is they snap your neck or they yank it, twist it. They know from experience and how they evolved in conflicts with humans is, you grab that little pesky little person, you just yank its little neck like a chicken, they're done. It don't take much. It don't take much. You got to be careful with our fragile, hollow bones and stuff. We're very fragile and stuff. We're not hollow. We don't have hollow bones, but comparatively to animals, we have very weak and less dense bones. Very weak bones. So yeah, it doesn't take much. It's not that hard. At nighttime, I mean, this is why it's not safe. It's not 100% safe to go out there and look for these things. It's not 100% safe to take kids out there. When my kids get older, will I take them out there? Yes, I probably will. But they're going to know that it's not safe. They're going to know it's dangerous and that this is, serious. Even though the chances of getting struck by lightning and are probably greater than getting attacked by a Sasquatch, doesn't mean that it's not happening. It doesn't mean it's never happened. It doesn't mean that it can't happen. So, yeah, this is exactly right. Snapping horses' backs, necks. There's pictures, evidence I've seen of bears being impaled on a spike of a tree 20 feet up in the air. There's a lot of stuff of them fighting bears, and there's eyewitnesses of them throwing rocks at bears, chasing them with clubs, grizzly bears, black bears, because I guess maybe the thoughts of it is that the bears prey upon the juveniles and young Sasquatches. Sasquatches don't have much predators they have to worry about when it comes to their young, right? Bears are probably one of them that they absolutely have to watch out for. Maybe wolves, maybe a wolf for wolves. Coyotes are pretty weak and skittish. Maybe would attack a baby and a toddler sized one, but a juvenile one that could throw rocks and enough to defend itself, coyotes probably won't mess with. Wolves, a little bit different. And bears, a lot different. So there seems to be conflict and stuff that they don't like bears and they're close to them, or they will definitely defend their cubs or juvenile Bigfoots, whatever, against them. So there's if you go to Val's group, the Gumshoe Guy's Corner, Michigan Bigfoot Reports and Sightings, he has pictures of these bear mutilations and bear attacks, and bears literally impaled at least 20 feet up in a tree. It's no joke. This is like legit evidence that no one else is showing and stuff. And give credit to Val for all his hard work, because no one else is doing the work that he does. Now I don't do that sort of stuff. He's doing data mining stuff 100%, and it's the best stuff out there. And he has more reports here in Michigan than any other database. It's way bigger than BFRO. I just last looked. It's at 1,967, I believe. It's over 1,950 sightings here in Michigan that stretch back from 1642, I believe. Or, yeah. 1600s to modern times. So Michigan actually has one of the most earliest reports of Bigfoot by the white man coming to the New World. I think the earliest report is Vermont, not including the Vikings and stuff over in Newfoundland. But Vermont has a very early settler encounter that's actually documented and stuff. So, like, someone wrote it down and stuff. So yeah, shout out to him and his group and the great, amazing stuff that he does, because I'm learning information and stuff that he's professionally profiling Bigfoot like you would a serial killer. We've done interviews with Val. I strongly urge you to check it out. And amazing story of how he even got into this is amazing in and of itself. Finding a missing person, and going through all the different experiences, stuff he's had, and been out in the field with him a few times, and amazing guy. And so, yeah, check it out. Check out the interviews. And if you want the best Sasquatch information and even evidence to be seen, you want to join his Facebook group. So, yeah. So, but yeah, you guys can watch the older interviews with Val. Very knowledgeable guy. Trust me, you want to soak up everything he says. All right, I'm glad to see everyone's having fun and stuff in chat. Going through, I think I missed some stuff earlier. But we'll be setting down the stream here in a couple minutes. We, again, did it early Friday instead of Saturday. We always do a show on Saturdays because be busy, going to be doing a lot of stuff tomorrow and going out in the field at nighttime and hopefully get something good. So looking forward to 2023. We're doing the Lost Cryptids, myself, we are doing the Michigan Bigfoot and Dogman Conference, and this is going to be a pretty awesome event. I think it's going to be a little bit different stuff, and so this is going to be our third event, and I hope to see it as another successful event as the other two were. And we're going to be doing stuff the right way. So I'm just saving up money to buy the venue. I don't want to give out all these details and stuff without having the place set up first. So we're doing that. I'm doing it myself, and then I'll drop more details about where you guys can buy tickets and stuff, where it's at, and then maybe I can work at trying to get different stuff rolling around. But it's not gonna be some major event and stuff like that. I don't think we're able to sit 300 people if they show up, but I don't expect 300 people to show up. I'm more excited for afterwards. We're going to be doing an expedition, going out researching and stuff, and hopefully getting some trustworthy people and researchers out there with us. I think that's going to be more fun, or even some skeptics too, because I think it's going to be fun to get them all pissing their pants at Sasquatch stuff when they don't believe. So we'll be doing that. I just gotta get that all set up first. So we'll be doing that in summer. See, either summer or fall and stuff. I really haven't decided, but sometime around there. So we got that to look forward, and then we got some expeditions planned along that, and I'm planning to, if I want to go out and look for this missing person too. There's a couple missing people, but as one story doesn't sit well with me. And anyways, I might try to go out there and look for him and film whatever happens. But he was another crazy guy, swamp walker like me. He goes and trudging through swamp, like this, and very just highly skilled guy, and it's just like, if he can go missing, I could certainly go missing. I mean, anyone could go missing. This guy would walk 20 miles barefooted and 20, barefoot and certain stuff. So, um, so yeah, that's on my mind, researching that area, because I do think Sasquatches do take people in certain spots. And so anyways, there's a lot of stuff planned for 2023 and beyond. We have a 5-year plan goal, 10-year plans that we hopefully me and my girl want to achieve, and has to do with Sasquatch stuff, and being able to do provide more research evidence for you guys and show more and stuff, and maybe get people to go out with us. So getting that rolling too. So I think that's about it. But yeah, so you'll see more information about the conference as we get things rolling around and stuff. I got some things made and pictures and some cool artwork, but first want to get everything set up so we got all the information going, and we're gonna hopefully make this an every year event and make it done the right way and not make it about freaking money and crap. Like I don't care if it would suck if, like, I just want to make enough that like we can keep going and do it next year. I don't want to make, there is no money to make. Like, never had money. I don't have money now. I really don't think having much money would do me any really good. Besides, like, maybe go Sasquatch a little bit more. But in terms of, money changes people. Money does funky things with people. I've seen it firsthand. There's other instances, and money, is always a problem when it comes to that and other people, So I've never been one for wanting to try to make money and do all this stupid crap for what, It's just like it. Like, like the other instance with the guy taking $5,000 check. It's just it's $5,000. Yeah, it would do me really good to have that right now, but like it's not $1 million. Why would anyone try to steal that? That's or jeopardize things over that, or less money or more money, or start a LLC. I forgot to tell this part, right? Start a LLC and have 4 different names on it, equally split, right? Well, that person only put his name on all of it. So you've got 4 people's social security cards and information to be put on this document because, your wife's does that stuff, whatever, sets up whatever, blah, blah, blah. These people, we all trust you, all that. You don't fucking set it up. You get a brand new truck. I mean, didn't use my stuff because I didn't have no problems or no information or nothing like that. But it's just like, a lot of fishy stuff, You get money, you try to get money, you get a new truck, you're trying to set up this LLC as a group. Now you put your sole name on everything. And then now you want to, well, we can still put your names on here, but I don't deal with ultimatums. I don't deal with threats. You don't give me a fucking ultimatum because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna shove it in your face, and I'm never gonna do what you want me to do like that. So and I didn't. I never fucking did. And never gave him a fucking chance ever after that. No. Always trust your gut instincts. But as if money's that important, as if the dude's thinking was like, what this, like, a conference is going to make you what, like $100,000 freaking dollars or something like that. Like, I just don't get the mindset of people like that and the reasoning behind it. So I don't like money. I don't like transactions and dealing with business with people and other money because I don't like people, and people are people. You know, people are people. People make mistakes. People are great. People are snakes, and everywhere in between. It's just not wise to deal with it. So, but yeah, you know, hopefully, you know, make enough to at least do this. And I just want people to show up and, you know, take reports and have a good group of trustworthy people to take out and research and maybe get some evidence, because I don't want to take people out there when I can't trust you. Can't trust that you're gonna, you know, act disciplined out there. I can't trust that you'll have my back. I can't trust that you're not gonna lie about certain things. I can't trust you're gonna make up certain things. I can't trust, you know, all sorts of different things. Just not wise. So I hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and learn from this lesson when you guys are maybe having a group where you guys want to do group activities and bring new people in and things like that. You know, things get more dynamic the more things you introduce into that system, and money is always a big problem when it's introduced into that. So you can hear it from me, you just did. You can see it and hear it from a lot of other freaking groups who deal with the same thing. So it's just sad that that's what happened. So, because I really think that if we would have just have professional, respectful, and not con artists trying to make money, not people trying to just be in it for themselves. And we found hair. I found a hair, you know, I don't have a bag. Hey, bag this up, tag it, we'll take it later. You know, I found it literally, you know, blah, 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 grabbed it. That person wants to try to steal that hair, you know, drama after drama. And it's just like, you know, it's not worth it, man. I'll do it myself before dealing with people in that aspect, because it's just not worth it. So sometimes if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. So, doing this conference myself, you know, with James and Tyler, with their support. But yeah, we're doing this the right way. We're not going to be greedy about this. I don't, you know, I almost didn't want to do. I don't want to almost do conferences. I almost didn't want to do certain things because of those people. But a lot of people are bugging me to do certain things, and I got a lot of support from you guys. So I don't want to. I want to do as much as I can, right? To find Sasquatch, to get evidence, to, I don't know, make my mark on this stuff. I guess. I mean, I really don't know. I'm just gonna push it as far as it goes, and it seems like everything's going the way it should, as slowly as it seems like, and as fast as it seems like in other times. That it's going in the city good direction that I am finally happy with, and I don't have to deal with that drama. So thank you for letting me vent out a little bit and express myself and stuff. That's what this free-for-all kind of a show is about. Now, I did put a link in the chat earlier for anyone to come on and express themselves. We could talk pretty much about anything from Bigfoot, cryptids, paranormal, conspiracy theories, or even a little venting on certain things, you know, if we're respectful and, you know, try to keep the swearing to a minimum. I know emotions can run high and stuff. I certainly swear when I feel it's right and needed, but you know, these free-for-all things, you know, can get pretty, you know, we could get up to debate and can get, you know, we don't have to agree on certain things. We just have to be respectful, and, you know, you can agree to disagree, but as long as there's no fighting, no craziness and stuff, you could, you know, you can come on and be a pretty interesting debate or show or topic or discussion, and or whatever. That's what it's about for a free-for-all. So we'll be back next week. I don't know what day, maybe a Friday, another Friday or Thursday show, but it'll probably be a Saturday show. And we'll maybe have a guest or something. Actually, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, I never really know. I kind of just sometimes I just wing it, guys. You know, it's not like I have a thing planned out of what I'm gonna do for the whole week. I just kind of live my life, and then gotta come on here and express myself. I love talking about this stuff, and it's very passionate. So I don't find it hard to like come on here and talk and fill up a whole hour on things that I really love and been doing this since I was 13 and earlier with books and shows and all sorts of craziness stuff. So love to have other people talk on here. Have a round table chat discussion. We've had other stuff. I could do, show more evidence on here. I think maybe next week I'll do a little more effort and have some videos to show for you guys and some different stuff like that. So I appreciate all the support. I appreciate every one of you guys taking the time out of your lives to watch my show, to listen to me. And it's very humbling that, I get the responses like I'm getting from Rob and stuff, where you guys think that what I'm doing is pretty good and stuff. I appreciate that very much, and it makes me want to keep going out there and getting more and stuff. So I appreciate the support, and there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of stuff I'm waiting to show you guys, and I just can't wait once you get this new computer up and running. We'll show you guys, and we're going to keep going out and hopefully get more stuff. And one day I hope to present to you footage better than the Patterson film, 100%. And I think one day I think one day I would be able to get it. If the track record and the rate that we're right now getting evidence, I'm pretty sure that we should be able to get that Patterson shot here. So just got to try. That's all we're doing is trying. So thank you for all the support. If you guys want to help support it and more monetarily way, we have a Teespring store. The link will be in the description after this is finished. We also, you go to the Facebook page. You can donate through Messenger. We have a Patreon. I don't really put much action on there. I don't really promote it that much. We don't really promote any donation stuff. But if you guys feel like you want to, you can donate through YouTube. You can donate through our Teespring store. Get a shirt. Get some merchandise for your money. And you go to Facebook, donate that way. Blah blah blah. Or don't donate anything. I don't give a crap, because I'm still going to go out there and look whether or not you donate or not. So it doesn't even matter. But I appreciate everyone so much. So I've had enough. It's time for me to go to bed. And without further ado, I'm going to leave you guys with our outro. So if you guys like this and other things, please make sure to like and subscribe if you have not. And check out all the different videos and evidence that we have. So appreciate everyone. And until next time.